So, welcome to 2019 Battle Reports. So, as I've been strongly alluding to in recent, well, the last month or so, we're doing things live now. So this is a tour of the studio, plus, you know, we're going to do 1,000-point games against, well, me. Yeah, I'm going to play against myself. Because remember, last year, I said that a good way to improve your wargaming was to play a game or two against yourself and figure out what you do well and what you do not so well. So, let's get started and do a quick tour and then jump into, well, Necrons killing orcs, because that's going to be mad fun. That's a lot of lights. So, this is the entire studio. As you can see, lots of lights because lights are great. And hopefully the NBN won't drop out or cause any issues and we'll get a reasonable frame rate. So far, not looking promising. But we'll see how we go. Oh no, it shouldn't be too bad. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so as you can see here, we have a second camera set up over here. Both the cameras that we use are just cheap Sony camcorders. They work quite well. They are hooked up via HDMI to those two capture cards right there going into my computer. As you can hear, we have audio, and that's not coming through the camera. That's actually coming through some wireless lapel microphones, which I picked up. And as for our lights, that light there is a LED, just light bulb, 1000 lumens. Should be good for lighting up our dice tray. And then these two are work lights with 2000 lumen LED bulbs in them for a total of 8000 lumens for illuminating everything quite nicely. So should be good fun. Just swing that back over so you can see properly. And this camera that I'm holding here is on a small tripod hooked up to a power bank so that we have enough power and I don't have to run as many leads everywhere. And I think that it is actually quite jerky, the stream, but we'll probably have to work some bugs out with this setup as I haven't actually tested it yet. This is the first test of this setup. So as you can see here, I've laid out a table with some terrain and stuff, and I've got some armies over there. So we're going to play a game for a couple of hours and see which army I'm better at playing with, Necrons or Orks. Should be quite interesting. So I suppose without further ado, let's jump over to battle report mode and play a game of Warhammer. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got two armies set up ready to go. I've got a small Necron, I think this was a spearhead detachment? What kind of detachment? Yeah, I think it was a spearhead. It's the one with 3 elite choices. So I've got a Night Scythe, Triarch Stalker with twin heavy gas cannon, 3 destroyers, 10-man unit of Tesla Immortals, a Overlord with a Resorb and a Void Reaper, 7 Death Marks, Shard of the Nightbringer. And for the Orks, we've got a Boss with a Kombi-Skorcha and a Power Klaw, which I suppose should actually be a power stabber looking at it. We've got a Weirdboy who knows the jump and the crunch. There is a 20 orc squad of Shoota boys, boss knob with a Klaw and a Shoota, as well as 2 big shooters. We have a 12-man squad of boys with a boss knob with a Klaw and a big shooter. And we have a 30 orc squad of Ard Boyz with a boss knob with Klaw and nothing else. Truck with a big shooter and a wrecking ball. Got a Def Dread with rocket launcher and Scorcher and 2 Dreadnought close combat weapons, whatever they're called in the codex. And then we've got 6 bikes and a boss knob biker back there with standard weaponry. So, I've decided that I'm just going to deploy these in a, I think it's Dawn of War. It's 12 inches from the long table edge is what we're playing. And I hope my tape measure's out here, because if it's not, this is going to be really awkward that I've forgotten my tape measure, which I think I have, and it is inside. Yep, so I forgot my tape measure, so I'm just going to run in, grab that, and be back in a moment. And I apologise sincerely for the stuff around with that. Okay, we're back and we have a tape measure now, which that makes things a lot easier to measure stuff with. So let's see who gets to go to deploy first, I suppose. And we'll be using cards to determine objectives. And there are objectives markers laid out as well. So let's roll a couple of dice and see who's going first, if I can pick up a green dice. So, green dice will be the Orks, blue dice will be the Necrons. And they're identical. Necrons go first. So, the Necrons' first deployment will be the death marks into hyperspace. So, now we'll do Orks will deploy one. Let's put the Ork truck down. So let's go around here and we'll put the truck down right about there. And make sure it's within 12 of the edge. Yep, so we'll move it up a bit to there. There we go. Now let's throw some Necrons down. Oh, let's go with this first. Let's put down our Night Scythe first, which will have our Immortals. Yeah, we'll just put the Immortals in it. What's the worst that could happen? And we'll put him there. Put that guy right there. Just make sure that he's within 12 of the table edge. I can put him up to there. Put him in there, that'll work fine. Okay, next orc thing to place. Let's put the Death Dread down. So, where to put the Death Dread is the question. Let's put our Death Dread right. We'll put it there, just next to the truck, in the lava. Just put it there so it's a bit stabler. Death Dread's down. Let's put the destroyers down next. Destroyers can be deployed just over here, I think. Destroyers are down right there. Ork bikes, where are they going to go? Put the bikers out over here. Set up some orc bikes there. Yep, that's well and truly behind the line. I guess the next thing the Necrons can put down is the Deceiver. And I guess the Deceiver, well, not Deceiver, the Nightbringer, sorry. I'm getting my names muddled up. Let's put the Nightbringer in here behind the Destroyers, I think. And now for the big units that I've got to put down. Now for the 30-boy Ard Boyz unit. That's going to be painful. Just a sec, I'm just going to adjust the setting to see if I can get this frame rate to improve. Hopefully that improves the frame rate a little bit. Because while it looks like there is a slight network issue, my computer's not having a fun time either. Don't know why, because I had it working fine the other day. dokie. Let's put some boys down. You know what? I think we're going to run this unit of boys straight up the middle. And the truck's open. Probably not a great idea to drop your models. It's a good way to chip the paint. Especially with older metal models, which fortunately my orcs are not. Otherwise, they'd probably break someone's arm carrying them. Imagine, like, 50 Ork Boys all in pewter. That's a lot of pewter. Hello, George. Welcome. Glad to hear you're from Chicago. We are in Australia, for those of you who don't know, in Newcastle to be specific, on the east coast of this incredibly hazardous and constantly out to kill you land. And that is the first Ork Boy of the day dropped. Where did he go? Now, given that this is also kind of a studio tour, if you have any questions about the setup that we have, feel free to ask them in the chat. I am glancing over it periodically, and when I see your question, I will answer it if I can. Okay, that's all the Ard Boyz down. Let's see, what else to put down? Let's go with... Yeah, let's go with our Overlord next. I'm going to put the Overlord in this crater right here. That crater. Right in the open. What could possibly go wrong? Given that he's my Warlord and he's going to be a target, putting him there couldn't cause any problems, surely. Now I guess we put down the Shoota boys. I've kind of stuffed up with the Ork deployment here without even realizing it, because there's no good spot to put the Shoota boys now. I guess we put the Warboss down then, and see if we can deploy the Shoota boys later. Let's put the Warboss just here, which I'll show you in a moment because I left the camera on the other side of the table. Warboss went right there next to the Ard Boyz. Now, I was partially joking about leaving the Overlord out in the open like that. I'm going to put the Triarch Stalker right in front of him there, so that he doesn't get murdered quickly by those bikes, which are probably going to come straight for him and hit him on like turn 1. That should be interesting. So the Orks now have 2 more units to deploy, and the Necrons have got all their units down because the Immortals are waiting to be deployed out of the Night Scythe, and the Death Marks are in hyperspace. Oop. So next, I suppose, we deploy the Weirdboy. We deploy the Weirdboy next. That makes sense. Actually, I just came up with a solution for how to bring my Shoota boys, my Gears of War, into the fray. We're going to set up the Weirdboy just over here. Weirdboy is set up just over there. The next thing to set up is the Shoota boys, which are going to be set up near the Weirdboy, also over there. It would be nice if the screen would... No, it's not going to flip. There. Let's set up our Shoota boys. And let's kind of just mob them around the Weirdboy. I do like my Gears of War. And for those that don't get the reference, it's because the chainsaw on the end of the guns. That's the joke that's being made. So, we are all deployed, and we are ready to get started. So since the Necrons finished deploying first, we're going to roll off to see who gets to go first, and the Necrons get to add one to their roll. So let's go do that. Again, Orks green, Necrons blue. And that's a tie, because the Necrons are adding one. Let's try that again. Necrons are adding one, so that becomes a 7. Necrons get to go first, and there is no transition nonsense because it's live, and, well, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. But give me time and I'll figure it out. So, let's grab some Necron cards out. Let's see, Powers of the Catan, don't need that. Actually, we probably will need them. I should probably pick which Powers of the Catan the Nightbringer's going to have. Now, does he get 1 or 2? I think he gets 2, but can only use 1. I'll just double check that. Yeah, he knows 2. So, let's give him... What's going to be best against Orks, do you reckon? Let's go with Seismic Assault. And... let's go with Sky of Falling Stars. Seems like some good choices. And hopefully, I will remember to use my stratagems. Just shuffle up the tactical objectives. And basically we're just going to do it first turn, draw 5, then have 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. And we'll just see what we get. And the reason that I am playing this kind of game is because I got my butt kicked by Chris, and when we face off against him again, we're not going to let that happen. Sorry, Chris, but next time, you're going to lose. As opposed to winning, which you did last time, which we can't have that again. So, let's see. Tactical objectives. Let's move the camera down so that we can see them. We have got advance. So we're scoring a victory point if we have no units in our deployment zone, which is the back 12 inches of the board here. So that shouldn't be too difficult to do with what I've got set up. Probably not turn 1, but turn 2. Actually, no, probably could do it turn 1. That could be good. Reclaim and recapture. So I need to roll a d6 when this tactical objective is generated. If the result is an odd number, score d3 victory points if you control all 3 odd-numbered objective markers. So that would be... So that means... I'll finish reading it then. I'll go through where those are. If the result is even, score d3 if you control all 3 even objective markers at the end of the turn. Okay, so we've got objective marker 1 just there. Objective marker 3 is there in front of the Ard Boyz. And 5 is in front of the Death Dread. So that means that 6 is over here near the Destroyers. 4 is in front of the Stalker. And 2 is up there. So let's hope that we roll even. Otherwise, that one's going to be quite difficult to achieve. Yay! We rolled even! I'm just going to check because I think that looks like it's still lagging quite a lot. It's not lagging as badly according to this thing. Just a sec, I'll just adjust another setting. And we'll see if that helps. It'll be a slight degrading quality, but hopefully we'll get a better frame rate. Okay, so we've got reclaim and recapture. We need another 3 objectives. What have we got here? Area denial. Score 1 victory point if there are no enemy models within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield at the end of your turn. If there are no enemy models within 12 inches of the center of the battlefield at the end of your turn, score D3. So the center of the battlefield's right there. That should be achievable. It's the end of my turn. Yes, the end of my turn. Which means I'm going to score that straight away, pretty much. Big Game Hunter. Score 1 victory point if at least 1 enemy unit with a wounds characteristic of 10 or more was destroyed during this turn. I'm going to have to double check if that's even achievable. Because if the Ork player does not have anything with 10 or more wounds, I might draw a different one. Just put that in front so that everyone can see that. See, this shows how much Orks that I've played recently. Because I don't even remember how many wounds everyone has. Let's see. Death Dread has got 8 wounds. And the truck has got 10 wounds, so if I destroy the truck, I can get Big Game Hunter. So that's achievable, so we'll keep it. And if you destroy something with 20 or more wounds, you get D3. There's nothing with 20 or more, but we can actually score the 1 point on that. And finally, defend Objective 5. To score 2 victory points if you control Objective Marker 5 at the end of 2 consecutive turns. So that's our Necron objectives, which I will keep back here. And I'll keep those Powers of the Catan cards back here so I can remember them. So now that the Necrons have got their objectives, let's start moving! Yay! So let's start by moving our Night Scythe a very long distance, because it moves between 20 and 60 inches. So what objectives do I need? Let's try and take this a bit slow and not do anything too stupid. Get stuff out of deployment zone, that's straightforward enough to do. Big game hunter, so truck's a target. I'm after all of the even objectives, so I'm just going to put a blue dice with my roll for that card, put it right there so that I remember that it's even. Actually, yeah, I'll put that on the card. That way I don't get it confused. Put that on the card. You need to keep you away from the center. So I suppose I should probably target the things that are closest to the center, because they're going to go for the center straight away. And objective 5, which is over there. So I definitely want to start moving in. Definitely want to start moving in that way direction towards objective number 5. Okay, so yeah, let's fly. We can go up to 60 inches. I'm probably only going to move like 40 though, because 60 is a lot. Let's put our Night Scythe right here and make it a nice big target. So the Night Scythe moved over there. Now I've got to remember how far Triarch Stalker's move, because he is the next on the list of things to move. He's going 10 inches, because he's still at his top profile. Let's move him straight forward, because we want to try and keep stuff away from the center of the table. Overlord moves 5, so he's going to move up behind him. The Nightbringer of Memory moves 12. I'm just going to check that as well. Oh, and I've no idea how long the batteries in this microphone are going to last. So if you stop hearing me talking, let me know and I'll switch to the other mic. Nightbringer is moving 8. And I need even objectives. So let's move the Nightbringer forward 8. And the destroyers, I don't even need to measure it for them, because I'm fairly confident that they can move this far. Destroyers are holding objective 6. Overlord should be within 3 inches of objective 4 right there. Yep. So now all I need is objective 2. Probably should have... Actually, no, I can't deep strike them first turn anyway. So I guess I'll have to just take objective 2 next turn. So that's all of our movement done. So now we can do the Necron, Psychic, Satan, Shard, Power, Phase thing, which I'm pretty sure is done at the end of the movement. I'm just going to double check that because I don't remember, because I haven't played a game in 6 months. And let's see. Yeah, movement, end of the movement phase. We use it. So that is how I remember. Good. Things that stay the way I remember them makes remembering them easier. So Seismic Assault's probably our best bet, although... Oh no, we've moved 8. Might be in range. I'm going to try and use Seismic Assault, because I'm fairly sure I'm further than 18 away. And I'll use it on the Ard Boyz. So 24 inches. Yep. They are within 24 inches. Excellent. Let's move the camera there. There we go. So, Seismic Assault. Pick a visible enemy unit within 24 inches of the Catan Shard. Done. Roll a d6 for each model in that unit. Not adding 1 because of the Tesseract Vault, because it's not a Tesseract Vault. So, 30 dice, mortal wound for each 6 that we roll. Let's get 30 dice out and roll some 6s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 24, 28, 30. Yes, I know I just changed my way of counting the dice out. But let's roll them and see how many 6s we get. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 mortal wounds. And despite them being Deathskulls, which means they're lucky, mortal wounds, so no invulnerable saves. Poor Deathskulls. Put that there. Hopefully the camera won't try and move again. Let's remove 5 Deathskulls. Let's take them from the back. So that's 5 Deathskulls dead. Now we can move on to the shooting phase, I suppose. So, not concerned about... I need to take Objective 5. So I suppose my plan for taking Objective 5... And this is where playing games against yourself becomes really tricky, because your opponent knows all of your plans at the same time you do. But you also know all of your opponent's plans at the same time they do, just to make things more confusing. So I think the plan's going to ultimately be that Night Scythe's going to drop out our mortals onto Objective 5. So we want Objective 5 as well. If we'd rolled odd for our Reclaim and Capture, that would mean that'd be 1 less objective that we need to take. And it still looks like I'm getting a crappy frame rate through the stream. That's probably due to NBN though. I'll have to check the stats when we're done, because I'm not adjusting things anymore. And we'll find out why. So yeah, that's the plan. But we're doing shooting at the moment. So as far as things we need to kill, I need to take out that truck. So the destroyers are going to shoot at the truck. And I'm fairly confident that I'm within 36 inches of the truck. And I'm just going to double check, because I remember at one point it was 24 inch for a gas cannon. Sorry, not a heavy gas cannon. Fast attack. No, a standard gas cannon is 24 inches. Unless it's changed in FAQ and I missed that. So hopefully we're within 24 inches of that truck. If we're not, this is going to be awkward. We are, in fact, within 24 inches of the truck. Excellent. So let's grab some dice. 3 shots each, so 9 shots need to be rolled at that truck. Okay. Hitting on 3s, and I think with the destroyers it's reroll hit rolls of 1 off memory. But I don't trust my memory. Yep, hit rolls of 1. So that one and that one get re-rolled. So that means we're hitting on 3s. That's a 2, that's a 1. Okay, so I rolled too many dice there apparently. I swear I must have already been a dice in there. Oh well. I'll have to check the tape later. But I swear I only picked up 9 dice. If someone can remember if there was already a dice in there that I didn't take out, please let me know. And hopefully it's not one of the ones I just picked up. So 5 hits, I suppose. Truck is toughness something crap because it's orcs, probably. Let's check. Toughness of a truck, it's probably 6. I bet you it's going to be 6. It's 6, so we're strength 5, I think. Or, no, it got boosted up to 6, didn't it? I can't remember. We'll find out. No, it is 6. So 4's to wound. So that is... Oh, there's a 4 there. So that is 4 wounds at AP minus 3 against a truck, which is a save of 4. But, I'm pretty sure it's all things with the Deathskulls keyword are benefiting from their culture. Models with this culture. So yes, I've got a 6 up invulnerable save on those shots. So 6 up invuln on the truck. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm pretty sure that my mic is clipping really badly when I laughed just then. I apologize for anyone that I deafened. So it's saved 3 out of 4. So D3 damage, 1 wound on the truck, which now puts it down to 9 wounds. Oop, and I'm running into things. So that puts the truck on 9 wounds, as you can see there, sort of. Okay, so now I really want that truck dead. And I'm not at all using... the dynasty that I picked was... I think it was Nefrek. Whichever one causes my advances to automatically go to 6 was the one that I picked. So I'm not getting AP minus 1 on those. So he's getting a 6 up save. Well, he's getting a 6 up save either way. That's why I didn't pick the one that's giving me improved AP, because there's no point against orcs. So, 2 Tesla Destructors. Just move the camera around there so we can see what's being shot. So Tesla Destructors from the Night Scythe into the truck. So that's 8 shots, hit rolls of 6. Let's make sure we get all the dice out of this tray this time. Hit rolls of 6 are causing an additional 2 hits. And it's strength 7. So should be reasonable against a truck. No 6s. And lots of misses. Luckily, it's an assault weapon, not a heavy weapon, so we're not hitting on 4s. But that roll is disgraceful. 3 hits. 3 hits. Strength 7, toughness 6. Well, at least they all wound, so that's a nice plus, I think. Yeah, it's a nice plus. So 6 up save, either way. And it saves 1, so that's 2 wounds go through, and I'm pretty sure the Tesla Destructor just does 1 wound. Flyers are in the back here. Night Scythe, Tesla Destructor, 1 wound. So 2 wounds go through, putting him down to 7 wounds. Okay, well in that case, I'm going to fire. I'm going to bring the camera back a bit so that you can see who's firing at who. I'm going to fire the Triarch Stalker at the truck, and I should have fired the Triarch Stalker first, so I was re-rolling 1s. That was stupid. If I go to do that again, could someone please remind me to not do that kind of stupid again? So, 2 shots from the Twin Heavy Gauss, both hit. Strength 9, toughness 6, so wounding on 2. No, wounding on 3s. Which is kind of not great. That's okay. That does not wound. So, actually I'm going to command point that one. Because I want that truck gone. I want it gone yesterday. Still misses. So that puts the Necrons down to... we'll start with 5 command points as the base now, don't we? Or do we still start with 3? I don't remember. No, as you start with 3, they made it so that each one adds more. So we're still only on 4 commands. So that puts us down to 3 command points, which I'll put a dice there for command points. If I'm wrong about that, someone please correct me. But that goes through for 1. He's got an invuln save against that. Watch him roll a 6. Nut. See, it's the blue dice are lucky. It's given the number of 6s the Orks have rolled. So d6 damage. 2 damage. That kinda sucked. Putting the truck down to 5 wounds. Okie dokie. So that is the end of that then. Doesn't have any shooting attacks. The Nightbringer does not have any shooting attacks off memory. Just by default. I'll just double check because he might. I know at one point he did. And I don't remember. No, he's got Gaze of Death, but there's definitely nothing within 12 inches. So he might as well not have a shooting attack at this point. So now I suppose that's the Necron's first turn done. Have I achieved any that end at the end of this turn? Score 1 victory point if there are no enemies within 6 of the center of the battlefield at the end of your turn. If there are no enemies within 12 at the end of your turn, score D3. So that aerial denial objective is actually really lucky because it's the end of my turn. I got first turn. So by definition, there can't be any Orks within 12 inches of the middle, as they had to be 12 inches from the center of the board to start with. So I guess I automatically score aerial denial. Cool. Let us roll a dice and see how many D3 victory points we get. Woo! 3 points. So we'll use blue dice. So Necrons are on 3 victory points. And I'll change the number of command points I have left to a red dice, I think. So 3 victory points, 3 command points remaining. And we'll put the card just there. Nah. We'll put the card, just flick that over there. We don't have objective 5, and that has to be held for 2 turns. Didn't destroy that. Do I still have anything within my deployment zone? Probably should have advanced the Lord. So the destroyers have left the deployment zone. Nightbringers left the deployment zone. Oh, the Lord did leave the deployment zone, and those guys definitely left the deployment zone. So that means I also score advance. 1 victory point at the end of your turn. Yep, so that's advance as well. So let's go 4 victory points. Big Game Hunter, nope. Objective 5, reclaim and Okay, so that puts us down to 3 objectives left, which means at the beginning of turn 2, I do get to draw one. So that's convenient. So let's crack open the Ork box of cards. And I should probably... Now, it was to jump and to crunch off memory is what I gave my orcs. So, the jump, the crunch are our psychic powers. Flick them off to the side. Probably should have set up my cards before starting, but oh well. Stratagems that I'll forget to use, lots of them. Oh, and of the Orcs 8 starting stratagems, I kind of used 2 of them to make Ard Boyz. Okay, so let's shuffle this deck of Orky objectives and see what objectives the Orcs are going to attempt to achieve. Okay, first objective, secure objective 3. Second objective, secure objective 2. Secure objective 1. Now, it's almost like these aren't shuffled very well. Oh, here we go. Got an Orky objective. Here we go. Wah! Wah! Yeah, Orcs is best. I'm pretty sure I've got this mic set way too loud. But no one's complaining about me deafening them yet. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. Score 1 victory point if 3 or more Orc units from your army have made a charge this turn. Score D3 victory points instead if 5 or more Orc units from your army have made a charge this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 7 units, well, potentially 8 units of Orcs that could charge. That's going to be a fun objective. And finally, grab the loot. Roll D6 when this objective is generated. Score 1 victory point if you control the objective marker corresponding to the D6 this turn. So let's see which objective we're going to be grabbing. Objective 1, which is way over there. Put the dice on grab the loot so that we know that it's objective 1 we're meant to be getting. Oh, and we need to secure objective 1 as well. So if we can get objective 1, that's worth 2 victory points. I think my bikers can arrange that. Oh, and actually means I also made my Weirdboy a warpath. So that's another command point, putting me down to 5, which I should probably mark with a dice. Come on, where's the red dice? Puts me on... Orcs are on 5 command points because we got Ard Boyz and we got a warpath. Okie dokie, let's grab that tape measure and do some measuring. Okay, so the bikes are going to advance because I want them over at that objective and I want them there now. Actually, Actually, no. I don't want them there. Now, I've got a better plan because the Necron player, which is also me, is stuffed up. And I've just found a way to circumvent their plan. So, I guess we're going to have the Gears of War are going to move forward. I think, do orcs move 5 or 6 inches in this codex? I don't remember. Let's find out. Weirdboys move 5 inches and boys move 5 inches. Okay. Let's move 5 inches. So my plan is to use the jump to jump them to objective 1. But just in case that doesn't work, we're going to start moving forward. And the Weirdboy's going up with them. But I mean, the jump's what? Oh, it's a warp charge value of 7, so there actually is a reasonable chance that we'll fail it. That's terrible. Moving Ork Boys up. Okay, next thing to move. Ooh, actually, no, they've got a unit of 25 still. The Ard Boyz are fine for morale. Don't need to worry about that. I was just thinking, do I need to roll morale? No, they're fine. Our, not Deathcopters, not Storm Boys, not any of the mad new vehicles that I don't have any of. Warbikers are moving an incredible 17 inches. If they advanced, they would have gotten pretty close. But they're not going for that. They've got a funner objective to go for. Bikers against the Triarch Stalker. Because, well, the Orks want to deny the Necrons the ability to destroy that truck. Given that the Necrons have that objective, and Triarch Stalker is probably their best bet at taking it down quickly. Okay, so now we need objective 2, 3, and 1. There's objective 2. Oh, I probably could have taken that actually. Oh well, didn't get quite close enough. Although we'd have to get someone to climb up that really to get it. Just FYI, objective 2, we're just going to do within 3 inches from straight down, so that I don't have to try to put models on top of that, because that's a pain. Well, you know what, the Weirdboy will go to that next turn when they we'll be fine. Let's go forward with the Ard Boyz, because they're so Ard. Orks, 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 orks. Come on, stay upright. He's teetering on the edge of the lava and does not like it there. So something I'm learning very quickly from this is that I think I am going to get that wireless HDMI transmitter, because dealing with this cable is being quite a bit of a pain in the butt. Move these guys all up here. And Warboss. The Warboss doesn't want to get shot at, so he's going to move over here, so that he's not close to that anymore. Now, how far did Death Dreads move? Oh, and since I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that people watching this are just painting, let us know what you're painting in the live chat. I'm curious. Def Dreads. They're in here somewhere, probably, unless they're not. I'm pretty sure Def Dreads still. Look, there it is, Def Dreads. Moving 6 inches. Def Dread. Well, there's secure objective 3, well and truly. Need to get stuff into close combat. So the Def Dread's going to move his 6 inches this way. I don't think I'm going to get enough stuff into close combat this turn. Maybe next turn. Ooh, actually, that truck. Since that truck's almost certainly dead, 5 wounds. What's his movement at 5 wounds? Truck's movement at 5 wounds, 8 inches. Oop, and a wheel fell off the truck. It's immobilized. It's going right about there. 8 inches forward. And it can keep its dice with it, just so that we know that it's wounded. So that's all of the movement done. Now let's do some psychic stuff, because that's fun. So the Weird is going to cast to jump on the Gears of War. Let's use a blue die. Lucky. No jumping, which is kind of sad, because I was looking forward to doing the jump. So now, time to bring the Daka. Let's start with the really fun things. Let's fire my rocket launcher into the destroyers. Now I'm pretty sure it's a standard rocket launcher and not a twin rocket launcher, even though the model very, very clearly looks like a twin rocket launcher. Yes, it is a single rocket launcher. So we are hitting on a 5+. This is so going to miss. It missed. What a surprise. Got a big shooter on the truck, which is going to fire at... I think it'll fire at the Triarch Stalker. Yeah, so big shooter gets 3 shots, firing at the Triarch Stalker. 36 inches, so it's well and truly within range. That's 1 hit. Strength 5 against toughness 7 for a Triarch Stalker, isn't it? Let's check. No, toughness 6, strength 7. So, either way, it's a 5 up to wound, because the big shooter is strength 5. That's 1 wound. AP nothing, so the Triarch Stalker gets its 3 up save. At least I think it's a 3 up save. Yeah, 3 up save. It saved it. That's lucky for the Triarch Stalker that it saved it. What has happened to my preview on this screen? It's just got the spinny thing. Let's just refresh that page and see if that fixes it. There we go, that's better. Okay, so next thing, this is the fun bit. So we've got our Ard Boyz here are also shooting at the Triarch Stalker with 30 sluggers. I mean, they may nearly be las guns, but that's a lot of diddly. I'll just double check that. Knobs, where's the boys? Ah, boys. So yeah, sluggers. 12-inch pistol. How many are actually in range of 12 inches of the Triarchs? Oh, they're all but one are in range. That's 19 sluggers. Two, four, six. Sorry, not 19. 29 sluggers. But minus 5 because they took 5 casualties. So that'd actually be 24. So I've got 6 dice there. 10, 14, 18, 22, 24. Get that dice out of there. So hitting on an incredible 5s because they're orcs. Move that one and that one. That actually was not half bad. Looks like about half of them hit. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I think I'm going to get a box with lower walls next time because you can't see anything right in there. Toughness 6, strength 4, so wounding on 5s. Wow, I'll tell you what, these lucky dice. So that's an incredible 6 wounds. Now the Triarch Stalker's got a 3-up save and there's no AP on a slugger. So 3 up. That one goes through. So 1 goes through for 1 damage, and because it's 1 damage, the Triarch Stalker is does not get quantum shielding against it. Well, it does, it just can't do anything. So that puts us down to 9 wounds. Just grab a couple of dice. Use some white dice this time. Put us on 9 wounds for the Triarch Stalker. Okay, so that's the Slugga boys. Now the boss, who has got a Kombi-Skorcha. And I forget, okay, Warboss. So basically, it's not listed on his data sheet, so I got to go to the back of the book. Except not the back of the book, because that's where the points are. We want guns and gubbins. Kombi-Skorcha. So it's a shooter, assault 2, 18 inches. Are we within 18 inches? We should be. Yep, 18 inches, so shooting at the Triarch Stalker. That's 1 hit. Not too shabby. Need 5 to wound. That's a 1. That's nothing. Now, the bikes are going to shoot at the Triarch Stalker. So that should be good. Yeah, we've still got audio. Good. That hasn't dropped yet. I'm just waiting for that battery to go flat. Okay, so now I've got to remember what the bikes have got. They'll be under fast attack. So many elites in the orcs. Warbikers. 2 Daka guns, which are assault 3, strength 5, 18 inches. So they each have 2 Daka guns. So there are 7 of them there, so that's 14 Daka guns. That's a lot of Daka. At assault 3 each, so that's 28, 42. 42, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, need more dice. Just tip the whole bag out here, I think. What were we up to? 28, I think it was. 32, 36, 40, 42. So this should be 42 approximately. I mean, I'm not being super competitive here because I'm playing against myself, but so I'm not going to worry about recounting them because, well, we've already been going for like an hour or so. Okay, let's roll. And we need hitting on 5. So anything that's not a 5 or a 6 can just kind of go away. That's still a fair few hits. That's still a few hits. So strength 5, toughness 6, so 3s to wound. No, not 3s to wound, 5s to wound. I got the chart round backwards. So those 3 don't wound, those don't wound. So that's 3 wounds. No AP on a Daka gun. So 3 up saves. Saves them all. What a surprise. But the Warbikers also have got sluggers each. So 7 sluggers. Hitting on 5, so that's 1 hit. Nothing. What a surprise. And the Shoota boys are probably going to be out of range. Well, the big shooters might be in range. What's the range of a big shooter? 36, whereas a standard shooter is 18. So, how far are we away from Triarch Stalker? Because, well, we're going to shoot the Gears of War at the Triarch Stalker. So there is actually 1 shooter in range, and then the 2 big shooters are also in range. So the blue dice are the big shooters, the green dice are the regular shooter. Hitting on 5s. That was a good roll. See? Blue is a lucky colour. This is true. And purple is stealthy, which is also true. Okay. So now, again, wounding on 5s. So that's 1 wound. I'm pretty sure big shooters don't have AP. It'd be kind of silly if they did. Yeah, no AP. 3 up save. Saved. What a surprise. So, now into the Orcs' favourite phase. War! And, you know, I probably could have advanced stuff and then still charged because of War. Which I'm pretty sure that's how that works. I'll just double check that, because I should have done that now that I think about it. I think it's the boss declares wars. That's how I remember it always used to work. Yeah, they can charge even if they advance. Stuff within 6 inches of the boss, which actually, the good things I wanted to use that on wouldn't have done that, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, although the Slugga Boyz advancing would have been useful. So, let us start by charging the Ard Boyz into the Triarch Stalker. So the Triarch Stalker is going to Overwatch. And this is where I probably should have taken a Heat Ray, but I couldn't find my Heat Ray for it. It hits with 1. And then it's just going to splatter someone. That's a 5. AP -4. So, but, they're Deathskulls, so they get a 6 up invuln. Not lucky this time. So this guy at the back with the green shoulder pad just kind of got splattered. I don't know why he got splattered and not the guy at the front, but Ork logic. Okay, so now we're going to see how far the Ard Boyz are charging. 6 inches. Is that enough to get them into combat? Yes, it is. Which means now the bikes can charge without any concern of being maimed by the heavy Gauss cannons. Oh, I'm still close to objective 3. Only just the boss is still within 3 inches of it. Just. So now the bikes are going to charge as well. They charge substantially better with 10. So they're well and truly into combat. Nice, made it into combat. I wonder if I'm within... Ooh, I am. So the truck is actually 11.5 inches from the destroyers. So guess who's getting charged? Oh, yeah, sure, why not? What's the worst that could happen? It's only like the truck's going to get blown up. Although, actually, doesn't objective say it needs to happen during my turn? Okay, no, it just says during this turn. So you score it when an enemy model with more than 10 wounds gets killed. And I thought I just pulled a cable out then, but I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure it was just the magnets holding the green screen back. So charge! But first, got to weather the 9 Overwatch shots from the destroyers. 6s to hit. It's 1 hit. Oop, that was on 5. Wounding on, well, there's strength 5. Although I swear they got bumped up to strength 6. They did, didn't they? I don't remember. I'm bad at memory stuff. Yeah, they are strength 6. They used to be strength 5 in the index. So, 4. That's a wound, because it's toughness 6. So, 6 up invuln. Nope. D3 damage. 2 damage. Putting it down to 3 wounds on the truck. Poor truck. Okay, so next See how far he gets. We need an 11 to make the charge. That's a 6. So no charge. So now for the fight phase, because that's going to be awesome, and that Triarch Stalker is getting hurt bad. Just look at that mob of orcs. It's beautiful. So let's start with the war bikers. So anyone within an inch of it is directly engaged. So that's basically those front 3, and then rear 4 are within an inch of them, so they're all in combat. So let's start with the Power Claw on the boss knob, or the boss biker. Fast attack. So our boss knob on a war bike is getting 3 attacks with his Power Claw. But I'm pretty sure Power Claws are subtracting 1 to hit because they're big and heavy. Yes, so we're only hitting on 4s with our 3 Power Claw attacks. Okay. That's 1 hit. And strength 8 versus toughness 6, so 3s to wound. That's nothing. Okay, so now the bikers are all going to attack, all 6 of them, with their 2 attacks each, so that's 12 attacks. So 12 attacks against the Triarch Stalker, hitting on 3s this time. So get rid of the 2s and the 1s. That roll was not quite as lucky as our shooting. Maybe we ran out of blue paint. Gonna have to buy some more blue paint. So wounding on 5s this time. That's 3 wounds. 3 up saves on the Triarch Stalker. All saved. So that did a whole lot of diddly. So now the boys who charged are going to get to attack. And I think I should have gotten an extra attack each for charging. Should I? I don't recall. Let's check. No, no extra attacks for charging as far as I can see. Unless that's a special rule boys have, maybe? I swear you got extra attacks for charging. Ah, yeah, it's green tide, it's for boys. War bikers do not have that rule. So the boys, given there's more than 20 of them, will get an extra attack each. So that's cool. Let's start with the Power Claw on the boss knob. He is getting 4 attacks because there are 20 of them. Hitting on 3. 4s, actually. Yep, hitting on 4s, so there's 2 3s and the 1 miss. And then that's a 1, so that does diddly. Let's see how many boys are actually in this engagement. So he'd be within an inch because he's in base contact. So basically, those 3, and then these 2. So we've got 4 boys are actually in close combat. That's pathetic. They get 2 attacks each to start with, but they've got choppers, so that gives them an extra attack, which the bike should have got an extra attack for having a chopper, I do believe. Yes. So that brings their base up to 3 attacks. 4 attacks is more than 20, and there are 4 of them, so that's 16 attacks. Hitting on 3s. That's a few hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. 3 up saves from the Triarch Stalker. Both saved. It's fine. Triarch Stalker is going to fight back and fight back Ard. Nice comment. Get him, Robot. That big toaster to kill. That is exactly what the orcs said as they charged in, I reckon. That is exactly what those orcs said. Big toaster. I'm going to... You know what this means now? With blue paint on the back of that Triarch Stalker, I'm now going to have to paint big toaster to kill. In, like, as orky a looking writing as possible. So basically my handwriting. So, big toaster, that's fantastic. Strength 7. It's at 9 wounds, so it's got a weapon skill of 3 up. It gets 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. And then we're hitting with strength 7, so 3s to wound. Both wounds, -1, but as they are Deathskulls, 6 up invulnerable saves. Nothing, so that's 2 Deathskulls, somewhat splattery, to say the least. Take the 2 from the back, because that makes sense. Well, I guess the Necron technically won, but I don't remember the rule. I'm pretty sure that no one else is going to die. I'm just going to double check that rule though. Resolve attacks, inflict damage, fight phase. Okay, so no damage at the end of the fight phase. They just kind of pile in 3 inches. Which is fine, because that means that next turn we're going to have more orcs fighting. Just going to kind of pile everyone in a bit. And that big toaster is going down. They're going to kill the big toaster. For sure. And I'm pretty sure my hand was blocking everyone's view of everything. Of course, of my big fat hands. Piled in. Okay, so now let's do Necron turn 2. Let's get moving this along because we've been going for an hour and a half already. Okay. Oh, actually we should probably work out what objectives we scored. So, we got objective 3 because the Warboss is within 3 inches of that, so that's 1. We did not have 3 units charged, we had 2 units charged, so not that. Haven't got objective 2 yet, or 1, or grabbed the loot. So we scored objective 3 though. So let's grab blue dice. And we scored 1 point. take the camera around to the other side. Up we go, around the light. I probably need more space. Okay. Ooh, another comment. Let's read that. Very nice, Red Green 09. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So just to bring those who have come in recently up to date, the Necrons, you can see the red dice are command points remaining, blue dice are objective points scored so far, Necrons are left, Orks are on the right. The Necrons need to draw another objective because they've only got 3 and they need to have 4 at the beginning of turn 2. So let's draw another card. Defend objective 4. Score 2 points if you can control objective marker 4 at the end of 2 consecutive turns. So we need to take objective 4, which we've got here. So we controlled it at the end of turn 1 because he's within 3 inches. I'm pretty sure he's within 3. Yep, he's within 3. Actually, you probably didn't see that very well. Oh, you might have. Yeah, he's within 3 inches. So I'm just going to grab a dice to mark objective marker 4 has been held for 1 turn. So we've held that for 1 turn. The Necrons are getting very lucky with their objective markers, objective cards this game. And we also need to get over and take number 5 from the Orks. And we need to also get number 4. Wait, what? Oh, no, it's not number 4. We need to control all the even numbers. So we need to take objective 2. This, I suppose, is where the death marks come in. Okay, so, beginning of Necron's turn, the Triarch Stalker regains a wound, putting it back up to 10 wounds, because I'm pretty sure it started with 10 and only took 1 wound. Yeah, it started with 10, so it's back up to full wounds. So that's excellent news for the Triarch Stalker. Course of living metal, which is awesome, and I'm of the opinion that metal is the best kind of rock. So, destroyers are holding 4 quite comfortably. Beginning of movement phase, we're going to do some we're going to bring stuff in from the Knight's Scythe, which I think that's done at the beginning. If it's done at the end, I could have popped him out last turn, but I'm pretty sure it's done at the beginning. Knight's Scythe. Yeah, before the model moves in the movement phase. And we also need to be deep striking our... So, let's start with our mortals, which are coming out of the Knight Scythe to hurt the Orks. I need to be setting up more than an inch away from the enemy. So I'm going to set them up right here. They have to remain close to the Knight Scythe though. Now, since they have to remain within an inch, actually it's within... Damn you, gravity! No, we've got lava switched off Red Green 09 for this game. It's purely decorative. because I haven't actually worked out a rule for it to work where it's not just ridiculously overpowered. But in the future, we will experiment with that more. But that's a good question. Would the Ork melt or burn? Then the answer is yes. So since these are 25mm bases, that's slightly less than an inch, so I can put 2 rows around them, although I'm pretty sure it's actually 3 inches that I'm allowed to go out from it, but I don't recall. If someone could comment and remind me which one it is, that would be great, because I'm forgetful. So that's the Immortal setup on the battlefield. Let's see, where are we going to set up our death marks? Well, you see, the death marks want objective 2, but they've got to set up 9 inches away from all of those orcs. This is going to hurt. So they kind of got to set up in here. So that's 9 inches away from those orcs. Just move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. And that's 9 inches from those orcs. And you're actually 9 inches. So pretty much as long as I set them up behind that, we should be fine. So the death marks are pretty much just going to block the way from the orcs reaching objective 1, because the objective 1, for those who have joined recently, is worth 2 points to the orcs. And there is another comment over there that I want to read. Alright, orcs burn, robots melt. Yeah, that sounds about right. And the robots give you a thumbs up as they sink into the lava as well. And high five to anyone that gets the reference. Probably move those cards out of the way. Okay, so they're set up, everyone's set up. I can continue on with my movement phase now. The Knight Scythe needs to move at least 20 inches this turn. And can pivot up to 90 degrees. And it's going to need its full turn, otherwise it's going off the table. So it's going to pivot 90 degrees and head this way. And it's going to go a bit more, which means, yeah, next turn will be fine, and then it'll just move slightly less and just go further down towards the end. Will be just fine. So it's going to go to there. So yeah, Knight Scythe ended up over there. What else do we need to move? He can just move in there and secure that objective more securely. And hopefully the Triarch Stalker can hold back that mob of orcs, which actually, that's probably a good idea. The Nightbringer's going to move in a bit closer. Because that Triarch Stalker is currently in a wee spot of trouble. Destroyers will stay put. Triarch Stalker will stay put. Because I do not want those orcs shooting at the Nightbringer as he charges in. So now we can jump into the Necron psychic phase. It's not really a psychic phase. It's Satan Shard power phase. Do I want to pick one enemy and use Seismic Assault, or do I want to pick 3 enemies and choose Sky of Falling Stars? Well, it'll only hurt 1 anyway, because I need to roll a d6 with less than the number of models in the unit, and those 2 would not be affected then. Although, I could cause... it only cause D3 model. I'm going to use Seismic Assault on... So, yeah, you'll use Seismic Assault. I'll just put that back and rotate the tripod so it doesn't try and tip over. So, Nightbringer is going to fire Seismic Assault at the Ard Boyz. So we're rolling a d6 for each one of them. Any 6s cause a mortal wound. So how many are left? It's probably easier to just count how many have died. 2, 4, 6, 8 have died. That leaves 22 of them, and I need to roll 22 d6. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 2. Any 6s are mortal wounds. That's a 1. That's also a 1. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. Ouch. That hurts. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7 mortal wounds inflicted against the boys. That's quite effective. What's that comment? Is PA USA Philadelphia, or is there another one starting with P? As you can tell, as an Australian, I'm not overly familiar with the states of the US. I think, or is it Pennsylvania is PA? It's one of them. Or I'm completely wrong, and I just don't know my US geography, which is the most likely answer. So we need to remove 7 of these boys. There's 3. That's another 7. That hurt. That hurt the orcs a lot. So the orcs have lost 7 this turn so far. So I'm just going to put a marker at the top of the dice tray to mark how many that unit of boys has lost. Otherwise I'm going to forget, and morale is going to be difficult. I'll put them at the bottom of the tray as a reminder. So that is Seismic Assault, very effective against orcs. Very effective indeed. So, Shooty McShootface phase. Love a good shooting phase. Death marks. Gonna shoot at the Weirdboy. Yes, they're gonna shoot the Weirdboy because they can. I'm pretty sure that they can. Ooh, whoop. Yes, it's Pennsylvania. I thought it was that. Which you guys are currently having winter and we're having summer, which is part of the reason I switched over to LEDs in my lights, because when these were tungsten bulbs, it got very, very hot in here. So, death marks. I'm pretty sure that death marks may target a character even if not the closest. So, the death marks may in fact target the Weirdboy. So there are 7 of them there. So they get 1 shot each, but it's rapid fire. So, despite these not being bolt guns and not having a huge advantage that bolt guns have, they do, however, have 24-inch range, and if they're within 12, they still get rapid fire. They so what about that? So the rear two are out of 12, but the rest are within 12. So that's 10, 12 shots. I'd be almost willing to bet that it is not as cold in Pennsylvania as hot as it's been in Australia. Just to let you know, the other week, there were parts of Australia that hit 48.6 degrees. It was stinking hot. And that's 48.6 degrees centigrade, which is like 120 something Fahrenheit. Or, you know, just use Google to change 28.6 centigrade to Fahrenheit and let us know what it actually is in Fahrenheit, because I'm not familiar with that system. So, 12 shots. And any of these that wound on a 6 cause mortal wounds in addition. So that Weirdboy is in trouble. And come to think of it, the Immortals will be fine at taking... Oh, they can't even shoot him first up. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh well, we'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? He's only going to charge them. Welcome, Super Wargamer. Yes, we're doing Orks versus Necrons. Just for a recap for the people that have just joined, the red dice that you can see on the side of the dice rolling box are command points remaining. The blue dice are the number of points already earned, like objective points already earned. Necrons are on the left, Orks are on the right. And we are about to fire the synaptic disintegrators at the Weirdboy. So let's do that. So, hitting on 3s. Remove the 1s and the 2s. That's still a decent number of hits. Wounding on 4s, but any 6s are inflicting mortal wounds. There are no 6s there. So 3 wounds. Weirdboy has got his 6-up invulnerable save from being a Deathskull. I'll just check to make sure he doesn't have any other saves. No, he's got a 6-up, and I should have been adding 1 to his psychic test last turn, but it wouldn't have changed anything anyway, because there's heaps of boys around him. So, no saves, so 3 go through, and the Weirdboy is down to 1 wound. Ouch. Weirdboy is on 1 wound remaining. He is in a spot of bother now, because if they don't take out those death marks and the death marks fire again, if they make the charge, they'll be fine, but if they don't, then they're in trouble. Chicago, it's 51. Here it's 7. Ooh, 7. So it'd be like... I'm assuming that's 7 Fahrenheit. So what's that in Celsius? Let's just convert that. Convert 7 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. Let's see what my phone says.
7 degrees Fahrenheit equal minus 13.889 degrees Celsius.
Okay, yeah, I'd agree. That's cold. That is proper cold. That is proper cold. Okie dokie. let us continue right along. So that's shot. Let's shoot the destroyers at the truck and get big game hunter already. So, 9 shots from the destroyers. Coming straight at the truck. The truck is in trouble. Re-rolling 1s. Still misses. But we got 7 hits through. Wounding on an incredible, like, what would that be? 3 up. No, 4 up. 6 to 6 is 4 up. That roll was not as good. The truck is now going to take its invulnerable save of 6 up. Failed both. It's taking D3 damage each. The truck has only got 3 wounds left, so unless both of these come as 1, that truck is going down. The truck is dead. Let us see if it explodes, or asplodes as the kids say. What does it need to explode? What does the truck need to explode? Where is the truck starter sheet in my book? Truck, there it is. It explodes on a 6 up. That is not a 6. No explodey truck. But the truck is going bye-byes. Dead truck. Which means that the Necrons now score big game hunter for 1 victory point because it didn't have more than 20 wounds. So Necrons are now on 5 victory points. And might actually call it after turn 2 because the Necrons are hilariously ahead at the moment. What's that? More comments. I love the comments. You think the dice tray would be better at the... Oh, it's ramshackle thing. Oh, the truck might actually still be alive. That is a good catch. I totally missed that. So on a 6, it's still alive with 1 wound remaining because that 6 would be that 3 wounds would be reduced to 1. That's a 5. So you reckon dice tray at the bottom? We can do that. We don't even have to wait till next time. Because it's at the bottom now. Yeah, I can change things, like, right now. More comments. You're very welcome, Super Wargamer. Okay, so, truck destroyed, did not explode. The Night Scythe will fire at the Death Dread, since we don't have many other targets for it. Assuming it's in range, I'm just double checking the range on the Night Scythe. Range of 24, we should be fine. It moved 20 inches from behind it. Yep, we're in range, so that's 8 Tesla Destructor shots. Coming right at the Death Dread. Hitting on 3s, because it's not a heavy weapon. So that's 7 hits. Def Dread is toughness 7, I do believe. Def Dread, toughness 7, so strength 7, 4s to wound. That doesn't, that's a few wounds though. Did I get any 6s when I rolled the hit? I forget. Oh well. Too late now. Can't change that now. I'll have to remember that next time. But that's still 5 wounds that the Def Dread now gets a 3-up save against. 2 go through. And they cause 1 damage each off memory. Yep, 1 damage each, putting the Def Dread down to 6 wounds. Boom, 6 wounds on the Def Dread. Now, the only thing left to fire is the Immortals, which unfortunately can't fire at the boss because he's further away than the damn Def Dread. So, Immortals will fire at the Def Dread, and I will remember the Tesla rule this time, or, you know, I won't. Yep, they're all within range. That is, I think they're Assault 2 base. Yep, Assault 2, so that's 20 shots. Just check the comments again. I think I'm going to need a bigger screen for comments so I can see it from further away. Okay, so 20 shots. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 6s inflict an additional 2. So let's get rid of all of the 1s and 2s that missed. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s, so that's an additional 10 hits. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then he's toughness 7, and I'm strength 5 of it. Is a Tesla carbine off memory. Immortals, strength 5 is a Tesla carbine. Actually, since I don't, have any advertising on YouTube anymore, no longer censoring things! But we will, try to keep the swearing to a minimum, where possible. And next time the Orks charge, they will do a wah, just to keep everyone happy. Oh, by the way, the Ork player is me, as well. Super Wargaming, your comment just got held for review because YouTube flagged it. So that's fantastic. Silly YouTube. And for everyone to see that comment, there you go. Stupid YouTube. But anyway, let's see how much damage our Tesla carbines do against the Def Dread. Needing 5s to wound. Anything that's not a 5 goes away. Or anything that's not a 5 or a 6. That's still pretty good. So that's what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 wounds against the Def Dread, which now gets a 3-up save. So here is probably where having AP -1 would have been useful. So, let's see. The 1, that's a 2. So that looks like we've got 4 wounds against the Death Dread, putting it down to 2 wounds, which does not cause its profile to drop because it only had 8 wounds to start with. No, it's blue paint, not red paint. Blue is lucky. Red ones go faster, yes, but blue is lucky, and I'd rather be lucky than fast. Feel free to take that out of context, as I know that everyone will. So, that is the end of the shooting phase. Now for the charge phase, and I do have someone to charge. The Nightbringer is going to charge these boys, and basically stuff them up pretty bad. And they don't get to fire Overwatch because they're already in close combat. So, Nightbringer gets to attack Foist. Where's the Nightbringer? Nightbringer gets 4 attacks. Yep, 4 attacks, strength 7. Basically, it just kills stuff. And it should have fired its Gaze of Death before charging, which it couldn't have done because they were in close combat anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I was wrong, it couldn't have fired it anyway. But we're going to make 4 attacks with it against the Orks. We're going to see how many of them we can squish. 2s to hit. I'm going to command point that, actually. I know that's probably not the best thing to do, but we're ending it after turn 2 because we've been going for 2 hours and I'm actually starting to get a bit dehydrated. Note to self, have cool water dispenser in the studio in the future. 2, so that hits. So we now will be wounding on 3s because strength 7. Why are we wounding on 3s? I swear, no, it's 2 because it's not against a vehicle. That's what I thought. I'm thinking, why are we wounding on 3? It's the Nightbringer. That doesn't make sense. But then I read the rest of it. So that's 4 wounds. The Orks, however, do have an invulnerable save because they are very lucky being covered in all that blue, which is lucky. No save, so that's 4 dead Orks. Boys. 4 dead Ork boys. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which puts the number of Ork boys from that squad that have died this turn up to 11. Which is what the white dice at the bottom are. So I can keep track of how many have died for morale purposes. Dawn of War is great. So, now the Triarch Stalker will be doing some attacking as well. And it has got its 3 attacks. Which these attacks can go against... screw it, put them against the boys as well. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds. Orks will now take their 6 up invuln. Nope, that's another 2 dead Ork boys. Need another dice. That's 13 Ork boys that have died from that squad in just this turn. There's another 2 dead. I'll take those 2. Super Wargamer got here like 15 minutes ago. Yes, we need Nick Beer here. Someone go and like message him on Discord or something and tell him to get over here. And then tell him to come to Australia because I want to play a game against him. And, or, you know, I'll go to the UK if I can save up enough cash. Maybe I should start like a, what's that thing that people put up to try to raise money for charity things? Like Kickstarter, but not Kickstarter. Or maybe it is GoFundMe, that's the one. We should start a GoFundMe for me to go to the UK to play Nick Beer. If someone wants to set up a GoFundMe for me to travel to the UK, I will do it. But for now, the Orks are going to fight back, and there's no longer 20 of them there, so they're not getting extra attacks. How many are actually there? Well, the boss knob is still there, so he's getting his 3 attacks. I do believe he only had 3. Yep, he's getting his 3 attacks with his Power Claw, going against the Triarch Stalker. He misses with 2 of them, but he hits with the other one. And then does 3, which is enough to cause a wound, because it's doubling his strength to 8, Triarch Stalker's toughness 6, that's enough. Okay, it's now a GoFundMe for me to go to the UK and play against Nick Beer and Super Wargamer. Someone set it up and make it happen. But let's see how much damage. Let's see. Yes, it wounded, as I recall, before I got distracted by comments. Or am I going to the US to Pennsylvania? Well, it depends on who wants to set up the Kickstarter or GoFundMe or whatever first, and which one raises the money for me to go there. But if I'm going to the US, I also need travel insurance, because I don't want to go bankrupt from going to a hospital. And I'm pretty sure that my Australian health insurance wouldn't cover it. Or it might. I don't know. I've never paid that much attention to that stuff. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that that wounded. So Power Claw. No, it only hit. We hadn't wounded yet. So we need 3 to wound. That's a wound. It's wounded now, either way. And a Power Claw is AP something or other. Power Claw -3, so 6 up save on the Triarch Stalker. Nope. The Power Claw does D3 damage. 2 damage, which means if I roll a 1, the Triarch Stalker ignores it. That's a 2, so the Triarch Stalker's taken 2 damage. Putting it down to less wounds than it had. I've just got to remember how many wounds it has. Started with 10, so that puts it on 8. Triarch Stalker's now on 8 wounds. And then the biker's attacked. Wah! Or I could just do a tour of the globe if you want to like set up just one GoFundMe. I mean, I'm not fussed either way. Okay, so bikers. We've got 7 of them, including the boss knob biker. Just flick the pages over to where the bikes are. So, boss is getting 3 attacks. Let's do them first, because that's fun. That one was not meant to be rolled. That one was meant to be taken out first. 2 misses, 1 hit. With his Power Claw, which I will call Pinchy. Yes, that boss knob is now called Pinchy. And he's going to try and kill the toaster, but he's going to fail miserably because he only hit with 1 attack. That's a 4, so that's a wound. Let's see if the Triarch Stalker 6-up can save it. Or if I can even roll in the box. It saved it! To everyone's amazing surprise, and everyone probably saw that before I said that it saved it. So, Triarch Stalker is good so far, but there's still 6 bikers, which are going to get 2 attacks each. So let's see if they can hit. They need 3s to hit. That's a lot of 3s. That's 11 hits. wounding on, well, wait, no. They should have gotten an extra attack because they have choppers. So I need to roll an extra 6 dice to see how many actually hit. That's the thing I forgot last time as well. 5 of them hit as well, bringing our total number of hits up to 16. Helps if you remember the rules of all you guys. Well, I'd probably remember if I played more, which we'll probably do. So now we need 5s to wound. They're going to smash the toaster, and then they're going to eat the toast and steal the loot. The boys love the loot. So, that's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 wounds, which is not bad. At least I think they were all wounds. I'm sure someone will point it out if I got that wrong. I got excited. But that's 10 wounds at 3 up saves. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's 5 that go through against the Triarch Stalker then. Bad news for the toaster, but it just took another 5 wounds. Putting it down to... Let's just put that to a 1. It's on 3 wounds. 3 wounds left on the toaster. Well. That's not ideal. But that's now the end of the assault phase. We now do the morale phase to see how badly these orcs are getting crumped. Because they took 13 casualties, and at the moment they have a leadership of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Oh, that should be a fun video. Okie dokie. So, 9, they've already taken 13. Let's see what those boys' leadership is. Ooh, 6. So, ouch. That's bad. So 6 and 13, 17. 17, 9, so that's 8 that run off, leaving only the boss. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Well, that was actually surprisingly effective for the Necrons. Let's see, what other... Did we score any other points? Defend objective 4. So that's at the end of the Orc turn we could score that. Reclaim and recapture, we still need to get objective 2. How far are we from objective 2? Where did I put the tape measure? Over there. Yeah, we're more than 3 inches away from it still, so we don't have that one yet either. So now, let's jump into Orc turn 2 and see if the Orcs can score enough points to beat the Necrons. Keep in mind that they've got to score, to tie, at this point, they've got to score 4 points and stop the Necrons from holding objective 4, which is back here. So they need the Orcs need 5 points to win. So let's jump over to the Orc side. And a refresher of the objectives the Orcs have got. They've got grab the loot, which means they need to take objective marker 1, which is over there. They've got secure objective 1, which is what those Orcs are trying to get to at the moment. Secure objective 2, which is up there, so they're trying to get there. And they're trying to charge with more than 3 units of Orcs this turn. Not looking good for the Orcs. Not looking good at all. Hello, Nervosus. Thanks, Super Wargamer, for sending more peeps over. Okay. Orks are in a spot of bother. But they need that objective too. So, let's start by doing some moving since we're at turn 2. We've already got our 4 objectives. So let's move these orks. That seems like a good place to start. Okie dokie. So moving 5 inches. Let's go closer to the death marks. What's the worst that could happen? Actually, don't answer that. Do not answer that. Now, the Weirdboy. Actually, we'll finish moving these boys first. Then we'll move the Weirdboy. Because the Weirdboy is going to split off for a moment. Oh, there's another one. Weirdboy is going to move over here, putting him within 3 inches of the objective as the crows fly, which is what I stated at the beginning we were going to use as the standard. So, that means that the orcs will get secure objective 2 at least. And I swear I'm trying to be as fair to both sides on this, but the Necrons are winning hilariously at the moment. Bikes are all in combat, and they're going to stay like that, I think. The boss is going to... What's the boss going to do? The boss is going to get closer to these Necrons, because he's got a Kombi-Skorcha and he's going to do scorchy things. And then we're also going to have the Death Dread move forward, but I'm pretty sure is he slowed down at the moment? I don't remember. Let's just check. Death Dread. Nope, he's moving his full 6 inches. He's going for objective 6. Because, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Boss, we're getting shot up. Yeah, the orcs are getting shot up a bit. Okay. So, that's moving done. Let's do some shooting. Not much shooting to do. Is the Death Dread within distance of them yet? 8 inches of them yet? No, he is not. So he's just shooting his 1 rocket at them. Rocket! It does not hit actually, yeah, it does not hit because it's a Death Dread and not a Killer Can. If it was a Killer Can, it would have hit. But it missed. Because, yeah, he sucks. And now, the boss, who has a drill for a fist, is going to scorch the immortals with his Kombi-Skorcha. It's not thing to shoot over there, it's the thing to shoot is over there. You gotta, like, use really bad English. And probably have a better Cockney accent than me. Ooh, fun. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so... Kombi-Skorcha. Oh, too far. Kombi-Skorcha. K for Kombi. 2, not further enough, man. Kombi-Skorcha. So, we're getting D6 hits with the Scorcher. It's 5 hits with the Scorcher. So the green will be the Scorcher. And then he's also got a Shoota in that. So that's Assault 2 with a Shoota. 1 hit with the Shoota. For a total of 6 hits with this weapon. Green is the Scorcher. And the Immortals are toughness 4. The Scorcher's strength 5, so when you're using 3s on the greens, so that's 3. For a total of 4. And the Scorcher has AP -1, so the blue is 3 up, the greens are 4 up saves on the Immortals. The Immortals saved 2, but 2 go through. So that's 2 dead Immortals. We will take those 2 Immortals. And I do believe that's the first Necron casualties. Oh, I suppose the Trarch took a couple of wounds. But that's all of the shooting. And I forgot to do the psychic phase. So, because I want to give the Orks a bit of a chance to score some points, I'm going to let them go back and do their psychic phase. Do not forget your psychic phase. Okay, so do you reckon we should jump? No, we want to score some points. Actually, how close are those death marks? 'Cause that's an important question. So I'd need to set up 9 inches away, so I'd be setting up there, which, yeah, that's going to put me within 3 inches of the objective, so that's fine. So, let us do our psychic test for the jump, who the Weirdboy is casting the jump on the Gears of War. That's an 8, so that is off. So we are jumping. And everybody do that jump. Or Krunch. That works too. I'm really bad at rapping. Okie dokie. So, need to be 9 inches from the death marks. Which puts me there. Which puts me just within 3 inches of the objective to claim it. But we're just going to jump to the other side there. We're falling over. And yes, that Ork Boy is standing on top of a generator. Because, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, he falls into it, maybe he'll get superpowers from the radiation. Maybe that's how Weirdboys come to be. They fall into Necron generators. And that's how Weirdboys were born. And that's our Wargaming story time of the origin of the Weirdboy. It's definitely not some other reason. And if it is, well, we're Orks. So we think that it is this reason. And it is, because we're Orks. Okay, well, that worked well. So that's the end of psychic phase. Now for some shooting. And the Gears of War are going to shoot at, I'm pretty sure that Lord is further away. Yep, 14 inches versus not just over 9 inches. So we're shooting at the death marks with the Gears of War, who are still at full strength. So that's 20 shooters, or 40 shots. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. Orks, because rolling buckets of dice is fun. Hitting on 5s because they are Orks. That was a 5, which I tipped over with my clumsy hand. That's still a decent number of hits. Then we're wounding on 4s with those. No AP, but it's still gonna hurt. So, 4s to wound. That's actually kind of pathetic, that roll was. That's only 6 wounds. No AP. So, let's see how many death marks die. 3 up save. 2. 2 death marks died. Those 2. So that leaves us with 5 death marks there. End of the shooting phase. Let's move into the charge phase, because that's the funnest Ork phase, by far. Let's start with the stupidest, most riskiest charge, which is probably going to end badly. But I want to get more charges off. Because if I can get more charges off, if I get at least 3, we can get, here we go. So, Death Dread's charging the Destroyers. Destroyers are going to fire their Overwatch and probably kill the Death Dread. But at this point, given that we're ending it after this turn, because we've been going for 2.5 hours, so yeah, 9 shots hitting on 6 from the Destroyers. Ouch. I got bad news for the Death Dread. That's 6 hit. That's 4 hits. 4 6s. I literally said 6 4s. Derp. So, strength 6, toughness 7 for the Death Dread, I think it was. Yeah, toughness 7, so 5s. That's 1 5. That's a 6. That's AP minus 3, so 6 up save. Can it save it? No, it cannot save it. So, stuff it. Let's command point that. Can we get a 6? And he saved it. That was probably the most unlikely thing that could have happened. But oh well, Death Dread's still alive. He's going to charge his number of inches. 3 inches. See, that's probably where I needed to re-roll. Because 3 inches doesn't quite put him close enough, sadly. It's very sad. Poor Death Dread doesn't get to crump anyone. But, moving right along, Warboss Drillbit is going to charge the Immortals. Going to fire their 16 Tesla shots back, and any that actually hit, because we're hitting on 6s, hit 3 times. Makes sense. 4, 8, 12, and 16. There is not a single 6 there. Okay. No, missed. Let's see how far he manages to charge. And if he fails this charge, it's sad. He's in. He's well and truly in. He's going to do some crumping. Okie dokie. So that's all about... Ooh, wait. We have one more... Actually, there's no point in doing that charge now. Because the Death Dread failed his charge, so I can't get 3. Which is sad. Okay. Let us start with Warboss drill bit, who is going to do some crumping. Where's the boss? Warboss drill bit starter sheet. Where is he? So he's getting his 4 attacks, which are hitting on 2s. Need to get those dice out of there before rolling new dice. Suspense. All hit. All hit, you say. So, now, we're strength 12 because we've got a drill bit, which is actually a power claw. But, shh, we're calling it a drill bit. Because it looks like a drill bit and it's awesome. And who doesn't love watching big, muscly green guys put drills through people's faces? I feel like that's way too violent for YouTube. But, who knows? What's the worst they can do? Demonetize me? So, let's see how many wounds we do. We need 2s to wound. That's 4. And then it's AP minus 3, so 6 up saves. No 6s, so that's 4 that are just very, very dead. 4 dead immortals. So now the orcs will choose who they're going to fight with next. And they're going to fight with the last remaining boy with a power claw, which is actually a knob. Hitting on 4s because he's got a power claw, so that's 2 hits. And wounding on 3s because he's got a power claw. That's a wound. Save of 6 up on the Triarch Stalker. Nope. Going for D3 damage. That's 1 damage goes through on the Triarch Stalker, putting it down to 2 wounds. Who knows? They might be able to kill it, but now the Triarch Stalker is going to fight back, and he's going to fight back Ard with his incredible 5 up to hit and 3 attacks. Get rid of that dice from the dice rolling tray. Don't need those there anymore. 2 hits. Necron player is going to command point one of them. Still misses. So, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds. AP minus 1 for massive forelimbs, so that's 4 up. No, what is the bike save? I'm pretty sure the bike save's not 3. It's 4, so it's now a 5 up save. That saved 1. So 1 goes through, putting one of the bikers onto a single wound. It was not very effective. But now the rest of the bikers are going to fight back. But you see Red-Green-09, the boss is right there. And he's going to crump you for saying that. You're going to get crumped hard. So, let's start with the Klaw on the boss knob biker. Does not hit. And they should have shot their pistols, but I forgot to, and we're well and truly past that point now. So now, the other guys are all going to attack with their attacks. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so hitting on 3s. Not bad at all. And then we are wounding on 5s. That was not as good. But still, not bad. 3 up saves on the Triarch Stalker. We only need 2 wounds to go through. So, 5 wounds go through, and the Triarch Stalker's dead, and the boys are like, yeah, we killed the toaster! But boss, what are we gonna eat for breakfast now? And then the boss just kind of puts his drill through a boy's face. So, let's see if the Triarch Stalker explodes. So I don't remember if it does or not. It's exploding on a 6. That's a 5. No explosion. Dead Stalker. So, that is the end. And no morale checks to take. So let us check objectives and see what the Orks got. So, they got objective 1, which means they get grab the loot and secure objective 1 for 2 points, putting it up to 3 points. Secure objective 2. Yes. That's another point. So that's 4 points. We only had 2 make a charge, so we didn't get that objective. Also the Necrons, because it's now the end of the turn, that means defend objective 4, goes to 2 turns. They've held it for 2 turns successfully, consecutively, so that's another 2 points. Putting the Necrons on 6 points. 7 points. I'm bad at maths apparently. There's another 2 points to the Necrons. Which means the final score, because the Necrons didn't get objective 2, is an incredible 7-4 Necron victory. So the Necrons won, which is awesome for the Necrons, but as we all know, once the Orks have hit a planet, it's theirs forever because the spores will grow back. Always growing back with the spores. So yeah, that was our brief tour, which for most of the people that are still watching missed entirely. And then a quick little game, which was great fun. So yeah. Remember when I said you should play more games against yourself to get better? Well, that's what I'm going to be doing. So we'll be doing a battle report every single month, even if it's just me against myself, which I'm totally okay with doing. And that's a lot of frames dropped on that. I'm going to have to fix that. I'm pretty sure that's an NBN issue, so might have to upgrade my NBN plan. Which, if you're Australian, you know how bad the NBN is. That's the problem. Write a letter to Turnbull. Tell him to stop being a little shitlord and ruining internet in Australia. Australian internet sucks for everyone overseas. So that was our game. Now make sure that you are subscribed and hit the bell, because as you know, we're doing live streams for everything this year because I don't have time to edit anything anymore. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications when we go live. And yeah. And yes, red green, make sure that you keep an eye on your toaster, because we all know toasters are actually Necrons and will raise up and flay you alive and wear your skin. And then they will hook up with your girlfriend, because the girlfriend will think the flayed one is you because the flayed one's wearing your skin. So yeah, if you're watching the recording of this at a later date when it is not in fact live, let us know what you think in the comments. I'll just go through the last of the comments in the chat here. Yep, keep her on toasters. Thank you, Super Wargamer. Thank you to everyone that watched. And we will see you all in the future at some point. You know, like probably next week. Same time, next week. Bye!